Hello everyone, this is Rick and thanks for joining. This is the 20th Excel tutorial, and today I'm just going to give you a brief overview of linking worksheets together and why you might use something like that. So what I mean by linking worksheets is you're on one worksheet but you need to reference a formula or data from another separate distinct worksheet not associated with this workbook. So in this case I'm going to switch windows here and I'm going to go, this is from our VLOOKUP example that we previously did. We want to reference some data on here, pull data onto another sheet. So this could come in handy if you have two different people or two different groups. One group maintains the data and one group works on another sheet that references that data. So in this case I just typed out three different scenarios here. This is what the formula would look like to reference another worksheet. You have to reference the workbook name, the sheet name, and then what cell address, A1, A5, whatever it might be. So this is an example when you have no spaces in the workbook name. Probably not all that common, but it does happen. If you have spaces in the workbook name, you need to add, it's the same reference, but you need to add the single quotation before the workbook name and after the sheet name. And then these worksheets, the source where you're pulling your data from, those worksheets can actually be, those workbooks and worksheets can actually be closed. Those files do not need to be open. However, they have to be in the same path, same folder, for example, as where your sheet that you're working is located. Otherwise it won't be able to find it. In that case, if you do have it in a completely different location, you need to put a reference to where it's at. So in this case I just made up a directory path, C:, documents data, and then your workbook name and so forth. Okay, so those are kind of the three different scenarios that you'll see. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go over here, I made a column called grades, or a worksheet called grades. I'm going to type grades right here as just a title. Then what I want to do is I want to reference, I'm just going to do the first 10. So I want the first 10 students' grades to be populated here. Well, I don't want to recreate the data. So I'm going to go back to that VLOOKUP example that we did before. Actually, we change it to a horizontal lookup here at the end of the exercise. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to highlight the first 10. I'm going to right click and choose copy. Now I'm going to go back to my windows, switch windows, and go back to my worksheet that I want to reference that from. And I'm going to go here, I'm going to click there in that cell, but I don't do a normal paste. What I do is I go to home and then I go to the clipboard here, and under paste you'll notice I have let me do that, paste link. Okay, that reference was from some testing that I did before. So what I did there, well, what happened? Okay, so what I did there is I pasted the link, right, which again is under home, clipboard, paste link. The regular paste won't work. And now you notice my formula, it automatically put it in there for me, and you notice I put the single quote there, right? And that's the reason why is my workbook name is VLOOKUP space example. Otherwise it wouldn't need that. And then it referenced cell G2, G3, G4, and so forth. So that's all I wanted to share with you today. I'm going to come back and do another tutorial, and I think the next thing I'm going to do is show you how to consolidate worksheets. Thanks for joining, and please subscribe.